We had another Lucasfilm series drop on May the 4th, and this one is called
Jedi Adventures.
Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures. Yes, exactly. So we are going to talk about this series, all right? So there are 7 episodes, 2 shorts each episode. We're going to discuss it. We're not going to go through every single episode, but we're just going to talk about some of the themes, and we're going to talk about the new characters. We're going to talk about what's familiar to Star Wars fans, and we'll also talk about the lessons that we learned in some of these episodes. Okay, so thank you for joining us.
So let's list them off and start scrolling through our slides.
Yes. All right. So, okay. This is Father Son Galaxy. I am Kerwin. It's okay. I am Kerwin, and this is Keith. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, we thank you for watching or listening to us. If you're not a subscriber, we do ask if you would subscribe. And if you like this episode, absolutely just hit that like button. All right. So about a week ago, we had the pleasure of having a wonderful conversation with James Waugh, executive producer James Waugh, executive producer Michael Olson, who's also the showrunner for the series, and writer Lamont McGee about Young Jedi Adventures. And we had a wonderful time talking about it. So we were really looking forward to seeing these episodes. All right. So let's start with let's start with the new characters. Okay. All right. The series is executive produced by James Waugh, Jackie Lopez, Josh Rhimes, the same executive producers of Visions. All right. Michael Olson, again, is the showrunner. So let's talk about who the new characters are. All right. So let's give a brief introduction to Kai Brightstar. So he is the lead character. So by the way, let's just set it up. The premise is these Jedi younglings, they're trying to train in the ways of the Force, and they're Yoda asked them to fly to a new planet, the new temple, Jedi temple on the planet to train. All right. And as they're training, they're learning things that are very important to becoming a Jedi Knight. At one point, these Padawans will become a Jedi Knight. They're going to learn about teamwork, self-discipline, compassion, and patience. All right. Okay. So the first character, Kai Brightstar, all right, is voiced by Jamal Avery Jr. Again, he's very young. He's very excited about learning the ways of the Force, learning to be a Jedi. He has a lot of energy. He's full of energy, right? And he's the leader of this little group of younglings. Right. Next, we have Liz Soleil. Okay, she's a Pantoran. Her voiced by Juliet Donenfeld. Did I say that Jamal Avery Jr. is voicing Kai Brightstar? Okay. All right.
And Liz is voiced by Juliet Donenfeld.
Yes, Liz is voiced by Juliet Donenfeld. She's a Pantoran. If you're a Star Wars fan, you know what the Pantorans look like. They're the blue skin. They're blue skin. She loves nature. She has a connection with the creatures on different planets. All right. So we'll talk about that. And we got Nubs. Nubs is a Pooba. All right. He does not speak basic. He speaks Poobian. All right.
I love there's so many dialects in Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's Huttese, there's Galactic Basic, there's Shiriwook. Now there's Poobian.
There's Poobian, right. And that's voiced by the legendary D. Bradley Baker.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Everyone's favorite clone trooper.
That's right. Exactly.
Because he is every clone trooper.
He is every clone trooper. Right. He's so talented. All right. Nash Durango is a pilot. All right. Voiced by Emma Berman. She joins a group of pilots that we have seen in past Jedi episodes. Great pilots. They're very skilled in maneuvering, getting out of trouble.
Yeah, but they only recently got their shuttles.
Yes, right. But Nash, we're talking about Nash Durango, who has her own ship.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Jedi, the younglings.
Yes, exactly.
They just got their ships.
That's true. We'll get into that. Okay. All right. And she has a droid named RJ-83. Now, if you recall, if you've seen, by the way, the episode that we were talking about with James Waugh, Michael Olson, Lamont McGee is available.
Channel.
Yeah,
you can watch it now.
Absolutely. Well, not right now, but
watch it after this.
Absolutely. Please check it out. It was a wonderful interview. one of the things I liked the most about this episode was when Michael was breaking down the names of these characters. It's just very interesting. And the character RJ-83 is a droid. He named it after his favorite Star Wars film, which is Return of the Jedi.
And the year came out, 1983.
There you go. Right. Very clever. I like
Again, nerd move.
Yes, right. It was.
And it's the best nerd move.
Yeah, that was absolutely wonderful. All right, and that droid is voiced by Jonathan LaPau. The villain, we have to have a villain, right? Can't have Star Wars without a villain. So we have a pirate, and the pirate's name is Tabor Valdorn, is voiced by Trey Murphy. And then we also have Master Zia Zana, all right, who looks over the younglings and, sends them on their way to these Young Jedi Adventures, right, which is the name of the series. So she is voiced by Nasim Pedrad. Okay. All right. So we talked about the new planets like Tanu. As far as I know, Tanu is not known anywhere else. Like, this is a brand new planet.
Never heard of Tanu.
Exactly right. So it starts off. So the first episode starts off on Coruscant, and then Yoda comes out. Of course, Yoda is going.
He's like, go to another planet, you will.
Right, to train, and that's where they're shipped off to Tanu, and that's where they come to this beautiful planet. As a matter of fact, it's a town called Kublop Springs, where it's
everything's
green.
in Kublop.
Yeah, Kublop. Yeah, it's very beautiful. It's very, very green, colorful. They even have a river. All right. So
they do races on that river.
Yeah, that's absolutely cool. Yeah, they do races on the river. So I mean, it looks like a resort to me. It's like someplace I would want to go.
Me too.
Like little resort or little island.
But it's fictional.
Yes, it is fictional. It's fictional, and it is a river. So it's not really an island, but it looks pretty cool. So they spend a lot of time there, and they go off to different planets as well. But Tanu is a planet. That's their base. That's their home base, right? They've been to another planet also called Andraven, which reminds me of Hoth, right? It's a snowy planet.
And it's got Welligrins.
Yes, well, Welligrins, right. These are brand new creatures.
Tauntauns plus seals
right.
equals Welligrin.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the new creatures, and there's another planet called Yamrati, which we will also talk about as well.
By the way, we're breaking the canon here.
Yes.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll get to that later. Okay. All right. So let's talk about what's new. What else is new? So we have Nash's ship is called the Crimson Firehawk. All right. As we said just a few minutes ago, there are new creatures. So there's a Tuca Kitten, there's a Welligrin, a Stalat, Scriffle, Burberry Bird. Like I said, Liz
Burberry Bird was hilarious.
Yeah, Burberry Bird, which was named by Liz, as a matter of fact.
Of course,
so she is a fan of these little animals, and they seem to like her as well. So
she has a connection with animals and a fast tone.
She does, yeah.
You gotta be kidding me! How are you supposed to say Burberry Bird 3 times fast?
Yeah, that's the name she came out with. She's actually given the task of giving this new creature a name, new bird.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And then, so let's talk about what's familiar, right? So obviously this is a series that appeals to all ages, right? So you're probably wondering, okay, it sounds like a kid's story or, something for kids. So as an adult, why should I get invested in it? Well, you should get invested in watching this series because it feels like Star Wars, and you're going to recognize a lot of things while watching these episodes. Even though you may have someone younger who is seeing Star Wars for the first time, have no idea the connection, but someone who is a fan or an old school fan knows exactly what's going on. A lot of things that look very familiar to them. So let's go ahead and talk about that. All right. So let's talk about the diversity on this planet. So Planet Tanu, I don't know if anyone has ever written a book as to how many species there are out there in Star Wars.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, it's just amazing. So, we were going through and we wrote down some of the species that we saw. And this is just not an all-inclusive list, but there are a lot of species. So, for example, we saw a Gamorrean, a Sullustan, a Chagrian, Rhodian, Twi'lek, a Dawutan, Shadrafan. Shadrafan. Now that's very interesting because you don't really see Shaja fans that often.
You don't really see bats in the galaxy.
Exactly. So to describe what a Shaja fan
It's
is,
a bat,
it's a,
but tall and with legs and arms.
Yeah, it's described as a sentient rodent or a bat-like creature.
It's a bat.
And it has large ears, flat noses, and 4 nostrils. Now, it's interesting because the first time we ever saw a Shaja fan was in A New Hope. I don't know if you remember, but this was at the Mos Eisley Cantina. This Shaja fan was actually ordering a drink, I guess, and then you saw him take the drink off the counter and took a sip.
Pretty sure there was like a whole story run in the comics about that.
Yeah, well, they've been in the comics. Yeah, I've seen them in the comics, but it's not often that you see them on the screen. Now, I think there was a Shaja fan in Star Wars Resistance as well, right? Yeah. So
you mean Orca?
Orca, exactly.
No.
Yeah. Orca is not a Shaja fan?
No.
Okay. What?
I don't know what species he is, but he's not a Shaja fan.
All right. I looked it up and they said the character was a Shaja fan. Okay, but we can go back. Yeah, we can go back a little.
We'll look it up.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I love how they managed to cop both Flix and Orca species into the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
you remember Flix, right?
Flix is they work together, right? Flix and the Shaja fan, Orca.
Yes, Flix and Orca.
Okay.
Flix is the tall one.
Right, and what species was Flix?
A Flix.
Thank you.
I don't know.
All right. Okay.
I know he was Flix.
Yeah. So the Chagrin, I mentioned Chagrin. So if you remember Massa Meta, he is the Emperor's right. Who
Flix.
Is? Okay.
Flix
all right. Yeah. All right. Let me finish this. All right. So Chagrin is, if you know Massa Meta, he is the Emperor's right-hand man. You know, he's kind of a greenish color with the horns. Yeah. So that's a Chagrin. So we're familiar with Rodian, Twi'lek. Dawutin is the creature with the chin horns.
Like Gremgar.
Right, exactly, right, from The Force Awakens. So I was mentioning the Shaja fan because there's a character who has a speaking part. Her name is Marla, who owns a junkyard, right? And she's a Shaja fan. So that was the reason why I was interested to know what her species was. A basilic. All right, now that is
basilic, yes.
Basilic. Okay, so Hap owns a cafe on Kubla Springs, right? So he's a creature with 4 arms. So very similar to the Dexter Jester, right? Who owns the diner in the prequel trilogy.
Dexter's Diner.
Yes, Dexter's Diner. Okay, and there is a Marillion, Marillion. There's an Ithorian, Mon Calamari. We know who they are.
Yeah.
So it's just a host of it's like, name that species.
Oh, he's actually not a basilic.
What is he?
He's a Latero.
Interesting.
Whatever that is.
Well, that's interesting because he has the same 4 arms as a basilic.
But he's gray.
Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, my mistake.
All right. Basilics are usually like crested, but he doesn't have that.
Okay, that is very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, difference. I didn't know that. I had to look that up.
Yeah, I just thought, because he had the 4 arms that he was, from the same species.
Me too. I kind of assumed, but then I'm like, they don't really look the same.
Oh, well, thank you for pointing that out for me. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, very good. Yeah, so familiarity, right? We know these creatures. We've seen them. We may not know their names, but they represented.
We figure it out at the end.
So you could, you expect that people working behind the scenes on the series understand the Star Wars lore, so they know, okay, well, we should have this creature in here, we'll put this one in here, and then this one,
this one, yeah,
exactly, that's what they did.
This one,
right. And now, okay, so let's move on to, we're talking about the skiff race. So there is a river, and it seems like there's an annual event that takes place called Race Day, where they call it the Kubla Classic, right? Where they have these skiffs.
Isn't that kind of like the Boon to Eve Classic?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or yeah, exactly. Right. So it reminded me of a pod race, that we've seen in the prequel.
But they're on boats.
Yes, but they're using skiffs, right? So you remember the skiffs? We saw skiffs in Return of the Jedi, right? Yeah. So okay, there you go, skiffs, right? which is pretty cool. I liked the skiff chase. I thought that was wonderful. That was very awesome, very awesome, awesome. It was wonderful. Yeah,
It was epic.
Yeah, it was wonderful watching that. And then how about this speeder bike? The younglings have a speeder bike.
Yeah.
How about that?
And so does their master.
And look at that. How about the legacy of Return of the Jedi? We were just talking about that a couple of weeks ago. That speeder bikes existed for 200 years before Return of the Jedi. So
Return of the Jedi originated it all.
Exactly. Yeah. So that idea came from that
Whoever
film.
came up with speeder bikes is like the
Genius.
world's greatest genius.
Yes, it's genius. And then what's nice?
Step aside, Elon Musk.
And of course, the speeder bike is not the speeder bike without the sound effects. Like the sound of the bikes just flying past. So of course, the producers have that the sounds from
They got a soundboard
from the Star Wars library that they can use, and you hear these speeder bikes, and it sounds just like you're hearing them for the very first time. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. So that was pretty cool. There's an asteroid field. We saw Nash was maneuvering through an asteroid field. Reminds you of course, The Empire Strikes Back.
So is the rest of the crew. And ironically, there was a space slug in the meteor.
That's correct.
That ate them. Can I say something hilariously?
Sure.
In that episode, I think it was episode 5, where they got the ships. For some reason, Kai low-key knew the move to get out. But the rest of them put their ships in reverse.
Yeah.
To go towards the space alien and then try to loop back around.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. So it was.
Like,
by the way,
Kai was with them, but he turned around and went forward. The rest of them went backwards into the mouth of the space slug and then tried to loop out of it.
Yeah. So,
like I said, he low-key knew the move.
It was a cool move that Kai did. And by the way, what's a Jedi? If a Jedi can't fly, right? So. There is an episode where they get
Anakin.
There. Exactly, yeah.
That's a Jedi if they can't fly. It's Anakin.
Well, that's not true.
That's a joke.
Oh, okay. All right. A Jedi, part of being a Jedi is learning how to fly. So there was this episode where the kids did get the chance to fly their own spacecraft.
Very short chance.
Or spaceships, or what do you call them? They're not X-wings, but just a
spacecraft.
Spacecraft, right?
Ship.
Yeah, and they ran into a space slug, very similar to the slug we saw in The Empire Strikes Back.
And it swallowed them up.
Right? They didn't get digested or anything like that.
They had a meal.
They just sat there in the mouth area.
I don't get that though.
What's that?
Like, how could the space slug doesn't just swallow them up?
That's a very good question. Well, the same thing happened with Han and Leia.
Or like that Falcon. Creature from the Mario movie. Like it ate Mario and Donkey Kong, but they weren't like dead. They were in its digestive system. So
they were in the digestive system, but they weren't eaten.
No,
chewed up.
My point is, the space slug just kind of lets them sit there.
Okay.
Personally, I could not deal with having 3 ships resting on the roof of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I would eat them.
Well, yeah, that would feel uncomfortable on your tongue, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like right on my tongue, on the roof of my mouth.
Yeah.
I would be like, it's time for you to go. No.
Yeah. Well, of course, they had to figure out a way to get out of the slug, and they did, obviously. All right.
I mean, they weren't gonna leave them sitting in there forever.
Yes. Right.
You couldn't just have 3 of the main cast members just sitting in that space slug for the rest of the show.
That's true.
Just being like, when is Kai gonna come back for us?
Yes, exactly. All right. So we have some Q&A. Let's go to the Q&A. Madman's Knowledge. Hello, you're very new. Thank you for joining us. Hello, I'm 25 and binged the kids show over the weekend. Yeah. Not really what I want from Star Wars, but learn to appreciate it for what it is. I think it's great for kids. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but yes, it is for.
I think it was amazing.
Yeah, it is for kids, but I enjoy it because
it teaches good life lessons.
It does, yeah, and it's something again that I can watch with my family. I can watch with any younger child. There's nothing offensive about it, or I feel that. Maybe a child shouldn't see this.
Like, it's not like you walk in and every other word is just some word that children should know.
Right, yeah. But I do like it because of Star Wars. You know, I as we were saying that it does feel
It's
familiar
Star
to
Wars,
me. Yeah,
but it's sensitized for children.
exactly. I like that. That's very good. All right. So Man. So my favorite character is Pord, the little Gamorrean sidekick to Tabor. She's so tiny and tries to look tough, and that's true. To look tough, and it means they're very cute. That's true. Yeah. So
I found
go
you
ahead, you gonna
guys
say
through
something?
Star Wars Explained.
Oh, thank
Nice.
you. Wow, thanks for joining us.
Nice.
Right. Yeah. How cool. Yeah, they're
I'm telling you that
Alex-
Star Wars Explained are good friends of ours.
yeah, Alex and Molly. Yeah. We're
They're
great
the
fans
best.
of them. Yep. Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah. So we were talking about the villains. You know, we oh, by the way, so we also had the opportunity to interview some of the cast members, young cast members.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And
a good lot of them.
Yes. And we had a question to Trey Murphy, who plays the villain Tabor, the pirate. And I asked the question about, okay, well, you're a villain, but you can't be scary or intimidating,
Like
right?
you can't just walk into a room and
Yeah.
start force choking out whoever fails you.
Exactly.
Who has a lack of faith in you.
Yeah.
That you find disturbing.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't be Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta tone it down.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. Tabor does a good job of being villainous, but not a villain.
I like that. Yeah.
I think Tabor's got more of the potential to be to commit at least one kind act once.
I can
But
see
like
that. Yeah.
he's not so far on the edge of darkness, and more importantly, he's a good character.
I like that.
I think he's pretty nuanced. I'd like to know more about his backstory.
Yeah.
And it just walks the line very well between being a scary villain and being a kid's villain. And I think it's hilarious that he has just this rickety droid and this Gamorrean who tries to be tough but can't.
You're right. You're absolutely right. What you just said.
No one takes him seriously though.
That was I was about to say that. He seems to me, he's very mischievous. He's not. You're right, like you said, mischievous. He is not a villain per se, but maybe he's just somebody who just wants to cause trouble for
maybe
other
he's like
people.
Loki. Maybe he's seeking approval from his parents because he's adopted.
Who knows?
Like Loki.
That's a good point. We don't have a backstory on Tabor. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe if there's a season 2.
And maybe he's got a brother like Thor who gets all the credit and shine.
Yeah. And I wonder if we'll see what he looks like with the helmet off. You know, he never
probably looks like Trey Murphy under the helmet.
Yeah. So that question was asked to the actor Trey Murphy, and he had a very good answer. So that video episode with the interviews, we'll get that up to you shortly.
Releasing soon.
Yeah, it was a really good episode. It was nice talking to the young cast members. Yeah. So he can't be evil. He can be a troublemaker, right? So what he does is he steals things. He's a pirate.
Yeah.
Right. And then the goal of the Jedi is to get back whatever he stole. Mm-hmm. And there was even a point in one episode where I think it was the berries. They're having
stealing like
the fruit.
Some huckleberry berries or something.
Yeah, some fruit.
Yeah, the fruit pursuit or whatever.
Yeah, he
was stealing some fruit from these poor people.
Yeah, he stole them from Hap, who owns the cafe or who runs the cafe. Tabor takes these berries, steals them, and then sells them to other people.
Kind of tries to.
Yeah, tries to.
Most of them just don't take him seriously.
Exactly right. So that was pretty funny, but they did manage. They as a Jedi did manage to get the fruit back. But Nash did a very nice thing and offered Tabor, as good spirits, being a nice person that she is, knows that he is not that bad of a person, and she offers him a fruit and he accepts it.
And then refuses to share it with his Gamorrean guard.
Yeah, right, exactly.
She's like, it's all about Sherry. Here you go.
Yeah.
And the Gamorrean's like, can I have some? And he's like, no.
No, right. Well,
no.
One step at a time. Madman's knowledge. Yes, I think my favorite episode was one of the last ones where Kai learned to not hate Tabor. Yeah, that was actually a very good one. That's a very good one.
I don't think he hated Tabor as much as he wanted to, put some sense into him.
Yeah, so I think
like set him straight without beating him up. Like, first of all, The fact that he put the helmet on the practice dummy,
Yes.
I think that was very creative. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
And think about it though, Tabor's not in every episode.
He is not. He is not like, always the villain in the episode.
The villain,
he's the main villain.
Prominent villain.
Well, he's still the primary
but
villain.
He's not in every episode.
Right. He doesn't need to be in every episode.
These kids have other things to do than deal with this
Exactly.
That's the crazy thing, though. I first looked at him and I thought he might be an inquisitor.
Yeah, it doesn't look like an inquisitor to me. Actually, I'm not quite sure what
you said the same. I said the same thing to you last time we were talking about I Am Your Mother. You were like, I thought it was gonna be a daughter talking to her sick mother, trying to get her to turn on the lights on.
Yeah, I will say that I was wrong. I
guess I'm on the other end of the spectrum now.
No, he doesn't look like an inquisitor to me. But I get
That's
your point.
That's a joke.
I get your point. Yeah, we're actually gonna talk a little bit more about that episode that Knowledge brought up about. Kai, he had. I'm sorry.
The bad man.
Yes, right. All right, I was referring to him as Knowledge. Okay.
The bad man.
All right. Yes. So right, his master, Zia, was explained to Kai.
Zana.
Is explained to Kai that your objective is not always to go after Tabor, right? So he shouldn't be really taking up. This is me paraphrasing. He shouldn't be taking up real estate in your head, right? Because once this guy gets in your head, then you start, making mistakes. You're all about, okay, I got to get this guy. I got to get this guy. But what she's telling him is, okay, it's not about going after Tabor, right? It's not about picking a fight, right? So it's about, helping each other, maybe at some point Tabor may need Kai's help. Who knows? He might be in a position where he might save the pirate, right? Instead of,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Instead of
I feel like that would kind of complete enemies. Kai's hero arc. Though.
Yeah.
Like from fighting this man to saving him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then Tabor's going to be like, well, bye-bye. I'm going to rob you again. Then fly off into the sunset.
Well, you never know. So I just want to talk about two more things in regards to what feels, what is familiar to, if you're a Star Wars fan, why you should enjoy or watch Young Jedi Adventures because of what's familiar. Mm-hmm. Two more things. One is the music, right? Some of the themes that you're familiar with, for example, Yoda's theme. When Yoda comes on the screen, you hear Yoda's theme, which is beautiful, obviously. I mean, it's been around for over 40 years. And then you also hear the Force theme. Most cases when they're using the Force, it's the Force theme. So that something about that, just really makes me feel happy when I hear the Force theme. I hear Yoda's theme. Yeah, so that was pretty good. And then again, the sound effects that we talked about earlier.
You do realize the Force theme is essentially Luke's theme. Like, I feel like every time we see Luke, we are.
Well, you're probably going to argue with me on this, but actually, Luke's theme is the main title theme, like the da da da, right?
The what's it? The I don't know.
The fanfare.
It's not Blade Runner.
We're talking about Star Wars.
I know.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, so the Force theme, you're talking about the Force theme. That was actually supposed to be Obi-Wan's theme.
I can see that.
Theme. Yeah. Right, because he's the Force, he knows how to use the Force.
I love how Luke's theme is just, the blaring trumpets.
True. Yeah, it could be blaring trumpets. Yes.
You ever realize that every time a clone tragically dies in the Clone Wars, the next thing we hear in the next scene is the end credits be like blasted. The end credits be like, let's have a party, y'all.
Now, what's interesting about that is still Luke's theme, but Luke is nowhere in the Clone Wars, right? Because it's taking place before him. But because we're just so familiar with that theme, I mean, when we hear that music, it's like, oh, it's Star Wars, so you have to continue to play it. Yeah. So now it's like, right. It's so knowledge.
Mad Man.
The same thing. Okay.
Madman.
Okay.
The main title theme was originally supposed to be
Luke's theme. Exactly.
Thank you, Madman.
That's what I said.
I said thank you, Madman.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were trying to make a dig at me or something.
No.
All right. Okay. All right.
I'm not talking about you being the madman. I'm talking about Madman being the madman.
All right. Okay. So yeah.
I can spit bars.
So again, we talked about the new characters. We talked about what's familiar to Star Wars fans. So the last part that we want to discuss are some of the lessons that we learned. Okay. So we wrote them down, and we could talk about them a little bit. So we could start with one of the first lessons that the kids learned was to take care of each other and help others. Right. Okay. So there was a situation where during training, Kai had to make a choice between saving his lightsaber and saving Nubs. Right?
Ironically, Tabor kept Kai's lightsaber but never used it. He preferred the electro staff.
Oh,
if I were him,
that's interesting.
I would use the lightsaber because the lightsaber is a more potent weapon than having an electro staff.
Well, maybe because he doesn't know how to use a lightsaber. That could be. Maybe.
But then again, Finn, who was a stormtrooper with absolutely zero experience, picked up a lightsaber and from day one was like. But Tabor has used an electro staff. Okay. He knows the grips, he knows the position, he knows the moves. Like, you think about it, the same things apply to a lightsaber, except you just gotta. There's no second end to it.
Well, I could tell you the difference between Finn and Tabor is not force sensitive, as far as I know.
Yeah,
but
and Finn at the time, neither was Finn. Like, Finn's force sensitive powers weren't really unlocked at the time. We didn't even know he had them.
That's a good point.
So at that point, Finn was just some dude with a lightsaber.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So he didn't wield it as if. At least I thought he did a very good job.
I mean, it would have been anticlimactic if he just bumbled like a fool with the lightsaber.
Right. Yeah.
And then Rey did the same thing, and Kylo just had no idea what to do with them. He'd be like, "These two have no idea what to do with a lightsaber."
Yeah.
Wow.
Right, and he would have taken them down easily. Yeah, but it's nice to know that. Just talking about Finn a little bit, that Finn wasn't afraid to pick up the lightsaber. You know what I mean? He could have said, well, I don't know how to use this.
Fearless man.
Exactly. He is fearless. Right.
They should have given him more time on the screen.
Okay. We're going to stay on target. Call me whatever you want. Okay. Well, I'm really enjoying Keith being here. Yeah.
Thank you, Madman, sir.
Keith is fun to be around, sometimes. Sometimes.
You're one to talk, Dad.
Yeah. We have fun. That's why we love doing these podcasts.
I love my dad.
Yeah, I love you too. All right. Yeah, there you go. All right. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next lesson. So you want to read the second one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never be afraid to ask for help when you need it.
How about that? Yeah.
I think that's pretty nice.
I think that's a very helpful lesson to learn, even for adults. Now, by the way, so these lessons is not just, kids need to learn this. Adults need to learn it sometimes too. Especially when you get older. You may be. Excuse me. You may be.
I need to learn these lessons.
Well, my point is,
sometimes I just don't bother asking people for help.
Exactly.
I just don't want to bother them.
Yes. And adults do the same thing. When they need help, they don't ask for help until it's very late. They get the help, but they could have been in a better situation if they'd asked for help sooner, right? So there was an example of that where Kai wasn't help, and Kai needed help, but he didn't ask for it until the very last minute. But his friends were able to help him, so that's pretty good to know. Number 3, teamwork is working together and listening to each other. How do you feel about that? I agree with that. Yeah.
Personally, I was never a team person.
Oh, well, okay, you say that now.
Flying solo, because I'm gonna be honest, the only person I can really rely on is myself.
Well, I hear you, but I think that'll
if I do everything myself, I'm never gonna be disappointed.
Yeah. Well, what's going to happen is you may run into a situation where you're going to need help, right? And
that's what Google's for.
Yeah, and back to number 2. Never
Google.
be afraid to ask for help.
Back to number 7. Yeah. Google.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying.
Google it.
But it's okay to feel that way now. But I think as you get older, you're going to appreciate being a part of the team.
I bet you the next Google campaign will be eradicate social contact. Use Google.
Oh, we don't want that to happen. No.
Use Google for all your problems.
Okay.
Need help solving a calculus equation? Use Google.
So you're just completely
having problems in life? Use Google.
Remove human interaction altogether, right? No more humans.
Don't know where the best places to walk are? Use Google Maps.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to number 4.
Google, the place that will control your life forever.
Stay focused and present
No.
while on a mission.
That's ironic.
Yeah. Now, this was actually a very good lesson. I like this episode. So here's what happened.
I don't like staying focused.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the reason why you should learn these lessons. All right. So this is the episode where Nubs was sick, right? And Kai and Liz wanted to get him some tea to help him with his ailment.
Oh yeah, some
and you know,
I don't know, some ginger tea or whatever they got.
Something like that, yeah. And as we said before, you know, Liz is she is a person
who likes old Nubs is.
She is a person who loves to stop and smell the roses. You know what I mean? That's not a bad thing to do, but you know, she's very into nature and she loses focus very quickly. You know, she'll see this beautiful butterfly or whatever floating around and she'll just stare there and just stare at it, you know, while this, I think at the time she was riding on a speeder bike and she sees this animal pass by and she's like, oh, wow, what a beautiful animal. Well, she doesn't see that tree. That's right. So
that was the end of the episode.
Right. So that was her, you know, about staying focused. And then for Kai, it's pretty much the opposite where he is focused, but he actually doesn't, he's so focused that he doesn't realize his surroundings. You know, he doesn't pay attention to what's going on around him. So that was a lesson that they had to learn, is to help each other, right? Mm-hmm. You get it?
Yeah. It's to focus on the important things in life.
Right. Yeah. Right.
All right.
Okay. All right. Sometimes it helps to slow down and pay attention to your surroundings. So that was
kind of what we harped on just
right.
now.
So that's the other side, right? So it was Liz trying to stay focused and Kai learning how to slow down, right, and pay attention to your surroundings. Okay. And then number 6, a person who has done bad things in the past can still choose to do good things.
We saw that with Ace.
Yes, yeah. This was a very.
You know what I found very ironic?
What's that?
First of all, their ship was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
This same lady then proceeds to help them, and all of a sudden, this Jedi Master who just had her ship hijacked, and the lady who stole it would have almost gotten away with it had it not been for her with her quick speeder moves.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I would have like kicked Ace off the ship as soon as we got out of that cave.
Well,
I would have been like, all right, you helped us out. You know, you're not anywhere near those beasts. Mm-hmm. You can leave now. Get off of my ship.
Well, see, you're taking the same position that Kai took, because Kai didn't trust her because he knows that she's a thief.
I wouldn't either.
Well,
she just stole my master's ship.
Yeah. No, I hear
Are you serious?
Yes, right. But she did.
She did prove herself trustworthy.
Yes, exactly. There's the lesson to learn. You know, like, you know, even though people have done bad things in the past or they don't make the right decisions, it doesn't mean that they're going to continue to make the wrong decisions. You know what I mean? At some point, they're going to be in a position where they have to help people and do good things for other people. So those, so there are a few of the lessons that we learned. There's plenty more, but those are the ones that stood out for us. That was pretty cool.
All 7 episodes are available on Disney Plus.
Right.
Disney
so again,
Junior.
Right. There's 14 shorts, 7 episodes, 2 shorts each.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're
classic
pretty cool.
Television form.
Yeah, and they're actually a fast watch. You know what I mean? I don't think they dragged. Again, it's so colorful. It's like the animation is just it's beautiful. It is beautiful. The technology nowadays is just amazing. You know, it's like it pops off the page. It's 3-dimensional, you know, and so, you know, put that together with the Star Wars sounds and the music, it works for me. It works for me. I'm a big kid. Madman's knowledge. Okay, I think it's awesome you do the show with him, Kerwin. Wish my dad had been that cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dad.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
I love this show.
Yeah, yeah. And it's nice that you get to speak your mind,
You know
right?
what? It helps
for a
that
certain
people
point.
watch us.
Yeah, it
We got
does.
900 subscribers, but it was a climb to get here. You know how
Yes,
few people managed to get to where we are,
that's true. That's true. We're very fortunate.
and how many people are above us.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
That's also an unbelievable number.
We can only go up, right?
Mhm.
We're not going down. We're only going up.
We can't go down from here.
Yeah.
Proceeds to lose 901 subscribers, leaving us with just one.
Okay, that's not going to happen. All right. So Keith hasn't had his Han Solo arc yet.
He adopted the name Solo because he flies solo. I mean,
Oh, maybe that's what. Okay, all right, gotcha.
I'm already there.
Right. Yeah. Well, you have a lot to learn, and I'm not being.
Wait, so part of my Han Solo arc is getting like a blaster, right? And a cool jacket.
Well, a cool jacket, maybe. I don't know if you have a need.
Wookiee sidekick.
Well, look, it depends on what neighborhood you're walking into. I don't know why you would need a blaster. Yeah. And you got to make sure you know how to speak Shuruk.
Shuruk. You don't know.
Can you just let me get away with something like?
No.
If people understood what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Shuruk. Speak
Wookiee. Imagine if you just said, "Speak W."
Speak Wookiee. Yeah, I think that would have been just as good.
You know how to speak W?
I don't know. I don't. Okay.
W. That's how you speak W.
Right. So everyone. So that is our wrap up of Young Jedi Adventures. Again, you can tell that we enjoy it very much. I really love it. I can go back and watch more of these episodes, but maybe there'll be a season 2. We don't know. But what we want to do now is actually talk about a special event that's coming up. All right.
Fan Expo Philly.
That's right. So Fan Expo Philly. So it happens every year. It is coming again this year. Oh, okay. One more comment. Do we know if there'll be a season 2 yet? Yeah, exactly.
We don't know, Madman.
Yeah, we try to ask the executive producers, and they wouldn't tell us anything. Yeah, Keith cracks me up. Yeah, he sure does.
I'm the madman here.
Yeah,
you should change your name to Second Madman's Knowledge, because I'm the main madman here.
Yeah, he does crack us all up.
Occasionally.
And
sometimes I crack up.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Philadelphia Fan Expo. All right, Fan Expo Philadelphia. It is a once a year event. It's wonderful.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So the Fan Expos, they have locations where they go throughout the country, and they put on these conventions. And they invite celebrities of all kinds to attend. So we just wanted to just bring it to your attention if you're in the Philadelphia area. Or are you looking for something to do that weekend, June 2nd to the 4th? Tickets are still available. But,
it's amazing.
Yeah, so we wanted to just read off some of the celebrity guests that are expected to appear. Do you want to read them off? Or you want to
yes.
Yeah, you're going to be amazed at the guests that are going to be showing up.
Let's begin with the big guns. Hayden Christensen.
There you go.
Katie Sackhoff. Giancarlo Esposito. Zachary Levi, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, Christina Ricci, Henry Winkler, John Bernthal, Sam Raimi, Sean Astin, the cast of Back to the Future, the cast of Smallville, Stephen Amell and Emery Bent Rickards from Arrow, Joseph Quinn and Grace Van Dam from Stranger Things, and Peter Weller from RoboCop.
Right. Well, how about that? Peter Weller.
I'm going to the Stranger Things panel.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I know you're a big fan of Stranger Things. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. And more importantly, we are going to be.
We're with those people.
We are going to be on the podcast stage once again this year.
Saturday, June 3rd at 3 p.m. Be there or be square.
Yes, yeah. So we just wanted to just thank.
If you're there, you're a rectangle.
Once Keith is done talking, I can tell you, we just want to thank the Philly Expo for inviting us again. We were there last year. We had a great time.
Yeah, you cracked me up without trying to be funny. I'm serious.
I'm just being dad.
I'm
your daddy.
You're a good dad.
I am a good dad. Okay, all right. Yeah. I just want to finish this up.
No.
Okay. Yeah, so we were there last year. We had a great time, right? That
Yeah.
was pretty cool on the
I
podcast
remember we went to
stage.
the 7-Eleven by the corner and I got some
Okay.
snacks.
Anything exciting about the
Next
podcast
time
stage
we
that
go
you
there, I'm going to get like a big gulp of soda.
All right. What about the podcast stage? Anything you like to say about it? Because you're going to be back on there.
It's a stage.
All right.
And it's great. No, I'm kidding. First of all the panelists they had last year were amazing.
Yes.
I really loved the exhibit hall and how they had like that light up of a bunch of stands with all the actors.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there were like exclusives areas for like the 501st and whatnot.
Yeah, the cosplay was out of this world. I mean, I'm looking forward to the cosplay this year.
I should still have my Jedi costume. You should buy me like a lightsaber from Walmart, one of the blade builders, and then I'll like cosplay.
Well, let me think about it. Okay. All
Please,
right.
man, I need this.
So you would wear your Jedi robe again?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right.
And I will wear it on the stage.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine. If your mother's fine with it, I'm good with it.
I'll get like a satchel and I'll put that hand-sewn Grogu in it.
Okay. Ooh. Well, that's okay. Let's talk about it.
Oh wait,
that sounds
why
like
don't we buy like a talkable Grogu?
Okay,
that'll be like $50 total.
Okay, let's
for
wrap
the
it up.
saber and the talkable Grogu.
Man's knowledge. I don't have kids, but I'm going to have a niece soon. Congratulations! And I'm considering introducing her to Star Wars with this series. I think that's the perfect way to introduce a newborn to Star Wars. Yeah, it's going to be so much fun.
I said, wait until your niece can walk, and then I'd say introduce her to the show.
Well, I mean, of course, she's not going to be able to watch it, for a long period of time. But I think, once she's able to, focus on the characters maybe and the colors, I think she would be, that would draw her attention, the colors and the shape. So, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah. So congratulations again on your new niece. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that. Yeah, so to wrap up, the cosplay was awesome last year. This sounds like it's going to be even bigger than last year. So with these celebrities,
sounds like I'm getting the lightsaber.
Yeah, with these celebrities, and you also got the comic book creator stage. You got the authors are going to be out there promoting their work. So maybe we'll run into some authors that we are familiar with. Who knows? But we can't wait.
Maybe we'll see Charles Soule again.
Who knows? We can't wait. I don't know if he'll remember us, but
he probably will.
Yeah. But yes, I get it. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to
Gray, definitely.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe we'll meet some of the new High Republic writers too.
Who knows? So if you're going, let us know. And let us know when you're going. If you want to get more information, unfortunately I didn't write down the website, but yeah, if you just Google Fan Expo Philadelphia, it'll pop right up, so that's wonderful. So we'll continue to talk more about the expo as the time gets near.
FanExpoHQ.com.
Yes, there you go. So there's your website. So we'll continue to talk more about the expo as the time gets near, but we will be there. Thank you once again to the Fan Expo Philadelphia for inviting us. All right, is that it for this episode?
Yes.
I think that is it. Man, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for just giving us the opportunity to speak with you for a half hour or so. Yeah, okay, yeah, for a half hour or so. So thank you so much. We hope you come back. Okay, Keith, where can people find us?
Pretty sure I just broke something in my shoulder. All right, you can find us wherever you get your pot.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's so funny?
No, I'm just looking at you.
What's so funny to you, sir?
Like, your eyes are gonna shut in about 5 minutes, so you better have it done quick. Come on. Where can people find us?
You can find us on wherever you get your podcasts,
yeah.
Our socials, or Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Fathers of Galaxy. Website, fathersofgalaxy.com. Merch store, fathersofgalaxy.myspreadshop.com. Patreon page, patreon.com/fathersofgalaxy. Our email us at KER@fathersofgalaxy.com. Join us on our race to 1,000 subscribers. We're trying to get there. We are 98 subs away. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, please spread the word. Yeah, we want to get to 1,000 by the end of June. I think we can do it sooner than that, but yes, 1,000 subscribers. That is a big deal for us. Yeah. So please spread the word. Tell all your friends, your family members, anybody that you know about this, about us.
Subscribe on every account you have, please.
Subscribe. All right. So this was fun, everyone. I think that is it for the chat. Just want to make sure if there's any last minute.
That's all.
So that is it, Okay. All right. We got man. You're welcome. Other channels aren't covering this show. That's a very good point. You're right. Yes.
They're not really the most. Not every channel is kid oriented, but they know about Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had something about throat.
Okay. You're right, Keith. Let's just get through this. You're right. Yeah, we got the impression that not many podcasters are going to cover, young adventures because it's for kids. Oh, yeah, exactly. I think they should. I think they should really take a look at it and just, we're all kids at heart. You know what I mean?
For Star Wars and not for kids.
Yeah, you're gonna get something out of it. Just give it a chance.
Like it's not like one of those sanitized kid shows where it's like, do you want to sing a song? Lordy doody.
Okay. Yeah, we're all kids at heart. So
we'll play a game together. Oh no, the console's not working.
Okay. All right. So thank you, man, for joining us once again. We really had a great time talking about Young Jedi Adventures. So we're, like I was saying, we're all kids at heart.
Thanks, second Madman.
I love it. I love it. Keith loves it. So we hope you love it too and you enjoy it with your niece. Okay. All right. So everyone, so take care. And until next time, take care. And we will see you again.